Hello there. What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Armada Clone Wars Wave 2, otherwise known as Wave 10. I think that's Wave 10, right? Yeah, I think that's Wave 10. We're getting a lot of waves now. It's been out for a long time, but we're going to talk a little bit more about this wave because there's been a couple of corrections and or potential corrections. I'm still not sure yet, so I want to talk about what we do know because this is really all we have. This plus some leaked entries originally that said that this was going to be out in January. Well, it's you know, starting to be late January, still not out yet. We don't even have an announcement for this yet, so probably delayed a little bit. Now, I had talked a little bit earlier about how this may have been broken up into two waves based on an email I had from someone at FFG, and it looks like that. I mean, that could still be the case, but maybe not. Maybe not. So while doing some perusing of Lion Rampant's website, I came across February 19th as the date for all of these. And this is a little bit newer. I mean, this has been out there for a few days, but I think that this is probably, look, Lion Rampant is usually pretty on the ball here. And, there's very, very few times where these dates aren't correct. And this actually holds true for a lot of other things that have already been pushed back. February 19th is also the date of some of the Legion expansions that are going to be coming out. And it makes us kind of wonder, well, if these are coming out in exactly a month, how come we still haven't seen them announced yet? Because you'd have to announce the wave and then immediately start getting the articles ready, because you got 4 ships that you need to do preview articles for. So I think there's a lot left to kind of fully announce for this, and if they want people to pre-order it, I mean, they probably need to announce it, right? So I don't know if these dates are even going to be accurate or not, or what is going on, or if all 4 of them are coming out at the same day, or like we always used to think, or if they're still going to plan on splitting up this wave. I wonder if this information isn't really correct, and it's really hard to know, right? As much as I like to be like, this is the latest information, this information just doesn't seem as reliable as, previous information that's come out of Lion Rampant. I wonder if maybe Asmodee has kind of decided, you know what, our distributor website that these folks keep kind of trolling and looking for information, let's put some false information out there. Because if this was coming out in a month, I think we would have had it at least announced already. That after all, they do want people to pre-order, right? I don't know. I'll let you guys answer that. Also, if you guys didn't know, there's a new round of the giveaway going on right now for a $25 Amazon gift card. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. So I want to talk a little bit about some of these ships and their sizes and what we might be able to expect from some of them. The first thing I want to talk about is the Pelta, because when we had these ships revealed during the Gen Con live stream, one of the questions I asked in the chat was like, for me, it was just an innocuous comment, because I'm going to scroll back a little bit. You see right here, we can't really see where the wings are. And I had made a comment. And I said, like, oh, it looks like the wings are open. Because I had mistakenly thought that when the wings were closed, they folded inward. And that I would see it kind of, the wings moving up to like the midsection of the ship. But that was just me being caught up in the hype. I forgot that the wings actually fold backwards when they open. So I just said, oh, the wings are open, thinking that it was exactly like this, basically the exact same sculpt as the Rebel version. And so with my little comment, the presenters were like, oh, and we have some eagle-eyed viewers in the comment section talking about the wings. Yes, the wings are different, or something like that. Like made a big deal out of my comment. Or I think they said, like, the wings are actually closed. And I'm like, wait, what? I didn't say that they were closed. I said that they were open. So it makes me wonder if we're going to see this version basically with the wings closed. And that would actually help this particular ship stand out a little bit from the version that we already have for the Rebels. And I think that would be kind of a cool thing. We do see them closed a lot in the Clone Wars, and that's something that's a little bit more iconic of that timeline. Certainly would be a really cool idea if they were to make this a movable part. even if this were to have some type of configuration, like, hey, closed is one way, opens another way, for the life of me, I think that they only decided to make them open and close just for the cool factor, because rule of cool is always a good thing to go by. But, you know, I'm really not too sure. I'm not as knowledgeable on this particular ship's individual function when those wings are open or closed. Presumably, though, it will still be a small ship, one of the larger kind of instances of a small ship, but you know, not quite big enough. They're just under 300 meters long, so not quite big enough to make it up into medium, unless of course you kind of change that deliberately. But I think it'll make sense for it to be a small ship. I think the Republic's going to have a lot of small ships. The Architons, whenever that comes out, will probably be the same thing. And you know, the Republic usually has like nice fleets. Where you know, I expect a lot of Republic's fleets will be one large ship and a couple of small ships, kind of going around doing their thing. Kind of similar to how a lot of Imperial lists or even Rebel lists work. That large ship is going to be the Venator, though, and the Venator is a really exciting one. This one is over 1,000 meters long, so it's definitely going to fall into a large ship category. I think at one point I would have guessed that it might have been a medium ship, just without doing the research, just thinking, well, the Venator was before the Empire, so it couldn't be as big as a Star Destroyer, but it is about as big as an Imperial-class Star Destroyer, at least as far as length is concerned. Its width, it has those curvatures, that violin kind of shaped body, so it's not going to have the same mass as an Imperial-class Star Destroyer, but as far as length, it's going to be about that as far as length goes. It's at least long enough to warrant a large ship base. And if it weren't also, then the Republic would never get a large ship, because this is just about the only ship that they're going to have that kind of fits that bill. So yeah, we're going to see the Venator. Now, somebody brought up recently that the Venator kind of looks like Jar Jar Binks a little bit. I stumbled across this. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the Venator is a pretty cool ship. I think it's going to be kind of like the workhorse of the Republic. I mean, you see it in just about every single space episode of the Clone Wars. It's everywhere throughout the Clone Wars. It's basically the Imperial Star Destroyer for the Republic, as far as just being everywhere and doing everything. So we had talked in another video a while back about, well, what if they were to do repaints or something like that? And I think if they do, I think one of the things that we'll see is I think we're going to easily see this one reissued a second time. I think that just makes a lot of good sense, and I would love to see that. Moving on to the Separatists ships, we have the Invisible Hand, otherwise known as the Providence class destroyer. This one, you know, kind of seems like this will be the you know, the counterpart to the Venator, in that it's also going to be a large ship. These are almost 1,100 meters long. I think according to legends, though, there were some that were twice as long. You know, different variants of different you know, different ships in the Separatist alliance, but with this one, I think the Invisible Hand with Grievous's flagship, so I think this one's going to probably almost certainly come with Grievous as a commander. But I thought of something interesting, because wasn't there a version of this, before I get to the Recusant? I'm getting my things a little out of order here. But yeah, let me jump to here. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't there a version of the Providence that Admiral Trench used in Season 1 of the Clone Wars? I think that was also a Providence-class destroyer. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got Admiral Trench in this ship. This would be a good ship for him. What do you guys think? Let me know who you think will come with the Providence. Do you think we'll see Trench, or we'll see Grievous, or will we see both? I think the commanders that we're likely to see is good and fun speculation, and I think once we get these outlined, it'll be a good time to kind of really speculate even further as to what we'll see in the future beyond this wave, because I'm also curious what I don't think the paint job will be like this one, but I do expect people's custom paint jobs to be able to have something kind of like this, especially if we do see Trench. I want to kind of harken back to the Gen Con slideshow that they showed us. You did see some artwork for Admiral Trench in the background of one of the slides, indicating that he was obviously, you know, in the game. They had obviously commissioned artwork for Trench, and so he's certainly going to show up in Armada. I mean, that's a given. He'd have to, right? He's pretty important as far as you think about the fleet battles and tacticians. He's almost like the Thrawn of the Separatist Alliance. So I think we'll see. Multiple versions of the Providence and multiple titles, and hopefully we get Trench. So the Recusant. The Recusant is the one I think some people will maybe at first glance say, oh, well, that's going to be kind of like the Pelta. But Recusants are actually pretty darn big. And look, like if you go back to like some of the stuff from some of the Legends stuff, there's actually multiple sizes of these. I think there's actually, I don't even think it's all Legends. I believe a lot of it's canon. It's hard to know exactly what's Legends and what's canon, but there's lots of different versions of Recusant destroyers. And there's light ones, there's medium, there's heavier ones, there's like small, medium, and big. So I feel like this is the type of ship that they could potentially reissue the different variations of and make them different sizes. So I'm really curious what they're going to, but for a Recusant light destroyer, they're almost 1,200 meters long, which means that this might actually come on a large base also. I mean, it's pretty darn big. It's definitely bigger than the Invisible Hand. So, and maybe that will be one of the Separatists' sort of things, is maybe they will have, maybe they'll have multiple large ships, and that will be, something that they, have to pick and choose, like which large ships are they going to run. Maybe they'll have large ships that don't take that many upgrades. Maybe they're just large for the sake of being large. Or maybe they'll just sliding scale it a little bit and say, this one's going to be medium for game balance. But I don't think they have to do that, since every faction right now already has a medium and two small. Well, if you have the starter, really one medium and one small. So there's no real imbalance as far as ship size categories right now. You can kind of do whatever you want. Everybody's going to have at least one of each. So if they're going to have an extra large and then the Republic gets an extra small, then so be it. The factions don't have to mirror each other exactly. That's not the way it goes. I think if you wanted factions that mirrored each other exactly, you'd have to start a whole new IP for that, and called Clone Wars. Wait, no, wrong, bad choice. But yeah, so but no, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with these. This was also Grievous used this as his flagship in certain episodes of the Clone Wars too. So if they wanted to give us Trench with the Invisible Hand, they could give us Grievous with this, or maybe we'll get multiple commanders with each one. What if we got 2 commanders with every expansion? Wouldn't that be really cool? That would be. I don't know if they'll really do that or not, but we did get 2 with our core sets. Granted, we had 2 different ship types in there, so I feel like there's some justification to do that, but it's exciting. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think about Wave 9. Wait, no, Wave 10. Wave 9 was the Clone Wars launch wave. Right, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get. I need them to start, publishing like an article. Wave 10 announced. So I can get it. Boom. But they'll probably say Clone Wars Wave 2, and I'm like, and that's gonna get really complicated once they start releasing waves with Clone Wars and Imperials and Rebels. That's when we're like, all right, which wave is this? Is this Wave 11 Galactic Civil War, Wave 6 Clone Wars? What are we calling it? Or maybe they'll just switch to like, now this is going to be Wave Narwhal. Narwhals causing a commotion. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today and talking Armada. I'm excited to get more news. Hopefully we get some articles very, very soon. I want to thank you guys for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, check the links in the video description. We got all kinds of links for Discord, or for my website, or for Patreon, or for merch, or for all of that stuff. I will talk to you later. Thank you so much, and as always, have a great day.